video recording here. No, it's fine. It's fine. In a particular country, well, this happens to be the U.S., I think. If you are working this out here, if you have, this is the rate of potato consumption. This is the rate. It's important to realize this is the rate of potato consumption. Let's underline it 5 times.
Can I underline it 6 times?
Potato consumption. Was almost going to abbreviate this, but that would not be good.
That's like the velocity of consumption?
Because it doesn't matter. It's just going to stop us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so is that like position of consumption?
Rate of potato consumption. The thing you have to learn here, this is the concept for this section. The net change in something, in whatever you want to put there, equals the integral. Okay, well we got to say from A to B. From A to B. The net change in whatever here, this box with a question mark, it is whatever. Okay? Net change in some quantity from A to B is the integral of the rate of change. Rate of change of whatever.
So that's the rate of change of potato consumption? That's just the rate of potato consumption?
Well, I guess it's the rate of potato consumption, so it's the rate that the potato, the total is going up, right?
So it's like velocity of consumption.
It's like velocity of potato consumption. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's something at UBC that talked about. I said, watch out for slime.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have a joke saying people flying potatoes. So they have velocity. Because we weren't there, but it's like
Yeah, Mike.
Okay. I mean, this is not normal English. Nobody talks like that. What was your net change in potato consumption this evening? Well, I had 2 potatoes. This is how many potatoes you're eating, right? This is how many potatoes are eaten, right? This is the number of potatoes that are eaten in that country. From 1970 to 1980, right? If we want the net change, we're going to do the integral of this, right? Of this function, of C of t. And we want it from, now this says with t being years since the beginning of 1970. So we want from t equals 0 to, what do we want here? We want the beginning of this, so what's that? T is, at the beginning of 1972, it's 2. The end of 1973, it's 4. Okay? T equals 4. 2 to 4. Okay? And this is dt here. Notice that if we wanted to make it a function, well, let's do that in a second here. You could come up with some symbol for this, net change in potato consumption, I don't know, P of t, something, if you want. You know how you did in grade 8, like let P equal whatever, let statements. You could do that stuff if you want. If you want to do this analytically, you take that function which was, this is one you're going to probably do on the calculator anyways, because it involves that exponential function there. So we want to do that from 4 to. You can do it on your calculator if it says not, unless it says solve analytically, especially a function like that. How are you going to do that? We will break out this calculator.
Do you have the new stuff or you go alpha?
I do have the new stuff.
You go alpha.
We will have both calculators.
integralize the thing.
We will have to try and get one.
7.06.
Not if you're doing this, right? If you're doing, if we're doing this numerical integration, it looks different on either one, but it's the same thing, right? Remember that if you have one of these and you've updated it, it's going to look exactly like you want it to. 2. Hold on. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Why is that? Oh, the problem with this virtual one is this. I don't use this because these buttons are.
They have nice shadows though.
They do, but and what was it? 1.1? No, 2.2. The buttons are kind of sticky on my virtual calculator, believe it or not. With this thing. What was it? 1.1 to the. No, here I have to put X, right? Well, you can put anything. Actually, you can put T if you want on here. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Don't.
Look how cool this is. Oh.
This is pretty cool, I have to say. There's.
How do you do on the Ca12?
You can't.
You can. This does not add any new functionality to it. It just makes it look nice. Okay. You can. As somebody in one of my other classes says, you can take this calculator out and impress the ladies with it. Unless you are a lady, then you can impress the gentleman with it.
Unless you like the meeting.
Well, I think the gentlemen were obviously impressed when they came in, and just, judging by your reaction to the T89.
Yeah, but we're impressed with Ca12.
Whoa! I just did it. I just did it.
That's old school.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
7.0. Whoa, look at this.
Yeah.
Hold on here. Hey, hold on. You need to put this in the function, the variable. Okay.
And then the lower limit, then upper limit.
Here the variable is sort of obvious. That's the only thing you don't need to put in there, right? And then you need to put in 2 and 4. It's the same thing. It's just written in a sequence like that instead. Okay? What? 7.066 here.
What if you went 4 to 2?
It would give you negative because you're going back in time, right? If you went from the end of 1973 to the beginning of 1974, the potatoes weren't consumed. They were. If you ran the video backwards, all the potatoes are coming out, right? They're not going back in.
Oh, that is disgusting.
No, they're just running the video backwards. Have you ever seen people running backwards or taking the potatoes out of their mouth? I never said throwing up potatoes. You thought throwing up potatoes. Please don't forget that this is millions of bushels.
Whoa. Wow.
It's not that 7 potatoes were eaten in 2 years in the States. It's 7 million bushels. A bushel is a measure of dry volume, like you'd measure, crops and things like that. I'll give you my guess because I've never actually seen a 1 bushel thing. My uncle, who lived in Michigan, when I went there to visit my grandparents, and he visited the farm, he had a garden, and so he'd come to get some bushel baskets full of manure. And he had these 3 baskets that he called bushel baskets, and I never thought about it when I was a kid, but I'm assuming this round basket was 1 bushel. It was about this tall and about that big around. I don't know. It's a certain number of gallons. I can't remember. I probably have known at one point, but anyways. Are we done with this?